Shell is fired from a gun with a muzzle velocity u making an angle theta. So suppose this is a shell which is launched from a gun at an angle theta with a horizontal at the top of the trajectory. Okay, it means that when it reaches this point, okay, at the top of the trajectory, okay, it breaks down into two fragments p and q of equal mass. So let us assume that the original mass was 2m. At this point it splits into two parts, m and m. Okay, if the speed of the fragment p immediately after explosion becomes 0, okay, if the speed becomes 0, where does the center of the mass of the fragment hit the ground? Okay, it is very much clear that if the speed of this mass becomes immediately equal to 0, okay, if the speed of this mass immediately becomes 0, that is, if I consider the first mass, that is m, its x coordinate is equal to 0 over here and y coordinate is also equal to 0. So ux and uy, both of them will be equal to 0. It means that this mass will fall directly downwards on the earth, okay, somewhere over here. Okay, now let us find out the speed of the second mass. Okay, at the topmost point, the mass over here, the entire mass 2m, that is just before explosion, its velocity will be equal to u cos theta, because at the topmost point the particle has 0 vertical velocity. Okay, the particle has 0 vertical velocity, so it will be only the horizontal velocity. So horizontal velocity is called u cos theta, which remains constant throughout the motion if I neglect the air resistance. If I consider for the first mass, the m into u1 plus m into u2. Now u1 is equal to 0, we have established over here. Okay, so over here u2 will come out to be 2u cos theta. Okay, that is, if I consider the second mass over here, if I consider the second mass of mass m, it will move horizontally with a velocity of 2u cos theta. Okay, and it has to cover a vertical height h. Okay, it has to cover a vertical height h. Okay, so in this case, okay, let us find out. Okay, we have to find out if the speed of the fragment p immediately after the explosion becomes 0, where does the center of the mass of the fragment hit the ground. Okay, let us find out that value. Okay, let us find out that value. Let us first find out that in order to cover a distance h, what will be the time taken. Okay, so the vertical velocity of this fragment will also be equal to 0, because initially before explosion the velocity of 2m was only in the horizontal direction. Okay, was only in the horizontal direction. Okay, so let us find out what will be the, at how far will the second fragment hit the ground. Now the h over here is equal to 2u square sine square theta, okay, or u square sine square theta divided by 2g. Okay, in order to cover this distance, the time taken will be equal to half of the time period, which is equal to u sine theta divided by g. Okay, let us find out how much horizontal distance it covers. Let us find out how much horizontal distance it covers during that part. Okay, the horizontal distance, let it be equal to r. Okay, let it be equal to r over here. Okay, so the horizontal distance covered will be equal to let it be equal to r over here, which is equal to u cos, which is equal to initial velocity is equal to 2u cos theta into time period. The time period over here is equal to u sine theta divided by g. Okay, is equal to u sine theta divided by g, which will come out to be, if you calculate this value, it will come out to be u square. Okay, it will be equal to u square 2 sine theta cos theta will be equal to sine 2 theta divided by g. Okay, u square sine 2 theta divided by g. Okay, now this is the distance, the second ball covers. Okay, this is the distance the second ball covers after the explosion. Okay, if I find out this entire distance, okay, if I find out this entire distance, this distance will be half of the range, which is equal to, if I consider for the first ball, it covers a distance of half of the range. Okay, it covers a distance of half of the range. Okay, or for the first body it covers a distance of half of the range, that is, it covers a distance of u square sine 2 theta divided by 2g. Okay, the entire range for a projectile motion is equal to u square sine 2 theta divided by g. So this covers half of the distance, and the second ball covers a distance, okay, plus this point. Okay, that is, the second ball or the second mass over here Okay, if I consider the first ball, the second ball covers a distance of u square sine 2 theta divided by 2g plus, okay, plus the range over here, okay, and the range we have already found out, that is the distance that the second ball covers is equal to u square sine 2 theta divided by g, okay, so which will be equal to 3 by 2 u square sine 2 theta divided by g, okay. So they have asked at what distance, okay, what is the, okay, they have asked, okay, where does the center of the mass of the fragment hit the ground, okay. If I consider the center of the mass of this fragment, okay, that is both the masses are same, so m1 x1 plus m2 x2 divided by, this is the center of where the center of the mass will hit, divided by m1 plus m2. So basically it will be equal to, both the masses are same, so it will be equal to x1 plus x2 divided by 2, which will come out to be, if I consider the value, x1 is equal to u square sine 2 theta divided by 2g plus 3u square sine 2 theta divided by 2g, okay, which will come out to be divided by 2, which it will come out to be u square sine 2 theta divided by g, that is the center of mass will hit the same place as it was going to earlier, okay. Now why does the center of mass does not change its position? Why does the center of mass does not change its position? Because over here, since there is no external force, okay, except the gravitational force in the x direction, since there is no external force, the center of mass will hit the same place as it was going to hit earlier, okay, which is option number B, and I have derived it over here also.